Right, so in the box, when you open it up, what you get, this one handed here. Alright, so what you get is DVR. You see it comes in plastic. Alright, styrofoam for shipping. Plus it has a box in there with the little accessories. So I'm gonna get this unboxed. I'm gonna hook up a cable to the LAN port. Maybe hook up one of the cameras to one of these ports here. Hook up this one to the monitor so I can just grab the IP address. And of course everything has to be powered. And then we'll get to basic configuration of the DVR. Sorry, this is the NVR. Yes. Alright, so once you've connected all your connections and you've logged in, sorry, not logged in, and it's booted up, you're going to be faced with this first things first. It's going to ask you to make and create a password. So we're going to create a password. Alright, and we're going to just give it a basic password. We're going to change this later on. Alright, now that we've already given it a strong password, I'm going to click OK. It still remains not identical. Please try again. Hold on. Next, it's going to ask you to set an unlock pattern. We're just going to set a basic one here. I'm going to reset and probably do this over. It's going to ask us to draw it again. So we go this way, down. Alright, so that's the pattern. So system language, English, apply, start device, at which one device starts. We're going to get rid of that so that every time we reboot we don't have to go through this. Next, you're going to set the time. What's today's date? 4:59. That time is good. So we're going to go next. We're going to enable Dhcp so you can get an address. Alright, and internal NIC, we're going to change that to a different, it's going to change it to 10.1. So that internal NIC IPv4, that's the ports on the back of the NVR that the cameras are attached to. So the cameras themselves will be carrying this IP address range, right? And not the same IP address that you're going to get here. It's not going to be within this range. It's going to be communicating directly with the NVR, and the NVR is going to do some translation to this address, and then this address is going to go out to the internet or to your local network. So we hit next. We can enable this cloud now. I'm not going to do that right now. We're going to get into that later. And we're not going to interfere with the port or enable anything else here. It's going to go next. We can initialize this here, or we can initialize this in the browser. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this later on. I'm going to hit next. And this is for the cameras, I believe. Enable H.265 for initial access. That's good. We're going to leave the defaults. I'm going to go next. And we can go into continuous recording or motion recording. We're going to set that up after. So we're just going to hit OK. And we are in. So now we're going to log in and get that IP address. So we're going to right click and hit menu. Alright, no configuration, network, and here we have an IP address 192.168.0.133. Alright, we're going to remember that IP address. Now it's given me my OpenDNS server because I have OpenDNS on my router. So that's the DNS it's going to pick up. We can change this once we get into the browser. It's going to be a lot easier and faster to do all these configurations into the browser. So, right, so now that we have this information, let's head across to the browser. Right, so once you have your IP address, you're going to open your browser and you're going to go over to, let me open a fresh browser here. And go open your browser and go to 192.168.0.133, and we're going to get a login. Now once we have the login screen, what you're going to do is log in now with the username and password you made in the wizard. Now once you've logged in, you're going to go to configuration, First thing you're going to want to do is change name. So you see I have a name change here already. Normally it comes with the name embedded net DVR or embedded net NVR, right? So what you want to do is change name. You just change name. You just highlight the area, clear it out, and boom. All right. So you make a name change. Hit save. The next thing you're going to want to check is your time settings. So when you come here, you're going to check the time. So let's see what's the best time for us. 400 is the best time zone, Atlantic time, Canada. So that is good. You can either use the NTP server, or I like to manually sync with my PC because I know my PC carries good time on my home network. It's synchronized properly. So I sync with the computer and I hit save. We don't have daylight saving times in Trinidad, so you just do not enable it. You do not. It comes checked. You uncheck it. So wherever you are in the world, these settings would, you would know to adjust your settings accordingly. But this is where you're going to adjust for time settings. All right. The next thing you're going to want to do after the time and date is you're going to want to adjust the IP settings. All right. So adjusting the IP settings. Now this was Dhcp like this. Now to make static, take off the Dhcp checkmark, fill in the IP address information. If you have a static IP in mind, what you should do first is run a ping command and make sure that that IP address is not populated, not giving back any pings, so that there's not a device already there, so you're not going to create a conflict. So once you've done that, right, you just basically, let me just demonstrate real quick. You open it up, then you put ping, put two eyes there, ping, and you ping whatever address, 192.168.0.134 maybe. Let's see if anything's there. And if you get a response like this, destination was unreachable, that means there's nothing there. So then I could use 134. For instance, if I try to ping 133 right now, I get a reply because there's the DVR there. Alright, so do that quick check before you assign an IP address. So when you assign your IP address, you give it a subnet mask that's the same as your network, and the default gateway should match your router's IP address. Right? Where the DNS is concerned, you can use the default gateway as the DNS, or you can use Google Public Server, or you can use Cloudflare. Either one is up to you. So save that information. Once you've configured the IP address, alright, the next thing you want to do is to make sure the device can record. First, you give it a name so it can be identified. Then you give it an IP address. You give it a time setting so it can synchronize properly. Then you give it an IP address so it can communicate on the network. So it can be identified, it's synchronized with the network, and now it can communicate with the rest of the network. Next thing you're going to want to make sure is that it can remember the footage. So you're going to set up the hard disk drive. So we come down to storage, and we go to storage management. And the first thing you're going to do is usually you would see a hard drive pop up here. You would see either one or two, how many hard drives you have attached. You're going to see them listed out here. So what you want to do is initialize or format your hard drive before use. That way it ensures that it starts with a clean slate. There's nothing there that would cause problems. There's not a program that was there by accident. If you're swapping out hard drives and you're using another hard drive, there's not an issue with pre-existing information. So to format, simply click on the hard drive and you hit format. You format the hard drive. It takes a little minute, depends on the size of the hard drive. It's just 1 terabyte, there's absolutely nothing on there to delete. So it's gonna finish rather quickly. So now that we have formatted our hard drive, the next thing we want to do is set a recording schedule. So now from storage management, you just go up one, schedule settings. Now, usually you would have to enable it, one, and it would be continuous. Alright, now I was testing this out earlier just to make sure I can make this as brief as possible for you, because there's so much features and other things in these NVRs that I don't want to make the videos too long, too lengthy. Alright, I'm going to make a few short videos just to get you up and running and to focus on certain topics that may or may not be a little elusive for non-technical people. So, and even for technical people. So trust me, technical people get this wrong too sometimes. So alright, so what you'd want to do, you'd want to enable the recording schedule. Now to set the recording schedule, you can choose from either any one of these on the side, but to make the change, you're going to have to click on the day of the week. There's a time bar. Click on the time bar. You go up, hit the drop down. You either choose continuous, motion, or whatever you want to choose. If you want to choose continuous, we hit continuous. You select the time. You can manually input the time, or you can drag the time from right on the edge. But it's more precise if you use this. So you can have it's in military time. So 00 usually midnight, and I wanted this to be set on continuous. So I will save, and you see the whole Monday is now set to record continuously. Now, if I want Tuesday and the other days to follow suit, or I just want Monday to Friday to be continuous and Saturday and Sunday to be motion, this is what I'll do. I'll come to the end where these two pages are. I click on it, and it says copy this information that's on Monday to Monday's already checked. So you want to copy it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. These are the days you want to have continuous recording. And then you want to record Friday and Saturday motion only. So let's go OK. So you see immediately Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday get filled up in blue. That's to say it's continuous. And Saturday and Sunday is recording motion. Alright. Now I want them all to record motion, so I'm going to adjust it again. I'm going to just hit this, going to hit motion, save, it's green again, copy, select all, just to be sure, hit OK. When I'm done, and I've decided this is what I want to do, I hit save. Ta-da, and it's been saved. So now that I've set up a recording schedule, my devices are going to record. Alright, so that's it for now. The next thing we're going to show in the next video is how to enable your motion detection, change the name of the cameras if you want to, set up email notifications and exceptions so that if certain conditions happen, you get notified. And we're going to add users and give them permissions. So that's coming up in the next video. So stay tuned for part 2 of that video. So thank you. This has been Damien from FixWinPC. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for your views. Thank you for your time. And as always, I hope you learned something. And if you learned something, pass it along. Alright, so this is Damien from FixWinPC signing off till the next video, and enjoy your day.